The midday sun beat down on the Athenian agora. It was a chaotic symphony of sights and sounds. Merchants hawked their wares, donkeys brayed, gossip and laughter filled the air, but in a quiet corner away from the bustle, a young sculptor named Callias toiled in his workshop. He was consumed by his latest creation. Callias's workshop was a sanctuary. Sunlight streamed in from a high window, illuminating the tools of his trade. Chisels lay scattered beside mallets, clay-covered rags littered the floor. In the center of it all stood a half-finished statue shrouded in a damp cloth. This was Callias's passion, his lifeblood to breathe life into cold, unyielding stone. Callias himself was a study in contrasts. His hands, roughened by years of working with stone, moved with the delicacy of a musician. His brow furrowed in concentration as he meticulously chipped away at the marble. Yet when he caught a glimpse of his reflection in a bronze basin, he saw a youthful, almost boyish face. He was young, but ambition burned brightly in his eyes. Word of Callias's talent had spread throughout Athens like wildfire. In the crowded marketplaces and bustling streets, people whispered his name. They marveled at the life he infused into his creations. His statues weren't just cold stone, they seemed to breathe, they seemed to feel. "Have you seen the way Callias captures the human form?" one merchant would ask another, gesturing with his hands. "They say he can carve a smile that could melt the heart of a Gorgon," a giggling fishwife would add, her basket overflowing with the day's catch. Even the stoic hoplites, hardened warriors of Athens, paused in their drills to admire Callias's work. His statues reminded them of the beauty they were fighting to protect. They saw in them the spirit of Athens itself, strong, proud, and unyielding. One sweltering afternoon, a hush fell over the bustling agora. All eyes turned towards a single figure, his presence commanding respect. It was Pericles, the great statesman and leader of Athens. He walked with an air of quiet authority, his gaze sharp and discerning. Pericles had a vision for Athens. He dreamt of a city that would not only be powerful, but also a beacon of culture and art. He had heard the whispers of Callias's talent. Today he had come to see for himself. He stood before Callias's workshop, his eyes scanning the half-finished statues that adorned the space. "You are Callias, the sculptor?" Pericles' voice, though quiet, resonated with power. Callias, momentarily stunned by the presence of the great leader, bowed respectfully. "I am, sir. I've come to you with a proposition," Pericles continued, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. "Athens is building a temple on the Acropolis, a temple to rival all others. A temple dedicated to Athena herself. It will be called the Parthenon. I believe you are the sculptor who can bring our vision to life." Section 4. The weight of marble. Callias was both elated and terrified. The Parthenon. To contribute to such a monument was beyond his wildest dreams. Yet the weight of the responsibility pressed down on him like a physical burden. He would be sculpting not just for himself, but for all of Athens. He immersed himself in the project. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. He studied the marble, learning its every vein and imperfection. He sketched countless designs, searching for the perfect form to embody the spirit of Athena. The scale of the project was immense. The statue of Athena would be colossal, towering over the city. Callias oversaw a team of artisans, each a master in their own right. There were stonecutters to rough out the basic form, carvers to refine the details, and polishers to give the marble its final sheen. But throughout it all, Callias remained the guiding hand, ensuring that his vision was brought to life. Section 5. The People's Gaze. As the statue began to take shape, the people of Athens watched with a mixture of awe and impatience. Every day, crowds gathered outside Callias's workshop, their voices a constant hum of speculation and anticipation. Will she be fierce, like Athena battling the giants, one would wonder aloud? Or will she be serene, a symbol of wisdom and justice, another would counter. Callias paid little attention to the clamor outside. He had walled himself off from the distractions, focusing solely on the task at hand. He worked tirelessly, his chisel ringing against the marble, driven by a force he barely understood. One cool evening, as he stepped back to admire his work, a hand fell on his shoulder. Callias started, turning to see a figure silhouetted against the dying light. It was Socrates, the philosopher, his brow furrowed in his trademark expression of thoughtful inquiry.